You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew players, I knew colleges, I was reading, magazines. Because like I said, my father and my older brother, they were into the game. And, we had books, magazines, newspaper articles. I mean, our room was full of Mike pitches when he was at North Carolina. Like, my older brother was on it early. You know what I mean? So just being around it at such a young age, it just took a grip on me. And I just wanted to be good at it. You know what I'm saying? So I would think right around that age when I really got serious with it and just come home from school, throw a VHS tape in there, watch a game before I even go outside and be a kid again. You know what I'm saying? Like, try to talk basketball terminology with your fellow third, fourth graders, and wasn't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I was just a little bit more advanced in terms of understanding what basketball, the terminology and what was really going on the court. I kind of caught wind of that early. And I always took pride in that, man. As a young kid, I always wanted to know what certain things meant. Like, what the announcer said this, what does that mean? And, all of those types of little things. And I think eventually, as I got older, that kind of separated me from some guys at a young age because I just had a better feel. But it started early, man. I would say like third, fourth grade.
And when did it start for you in terms of organized? When did you get your first taste under the whistle?
Yeah. Well, we used to play at the bathhouse. They had the little animal, I forget what they call it, the animal tournament with the kids. They just broke it up into teams. It was semi-organized, but it was still everybody you knew, right? So that don't really count. Like, in terms of like starting to play against dudes from Brooklyn, Queens, and all that kind of stuff, it was seventh grade. I went to the church. I went to try it out for the church because, like I said, my older brother was a player. He had played at the church. Okay. So I kind of was a little bit familiar with it. So I actually went and tried out there, and that's when I started with the real live organized outside of my neighborhood. Really challenging myself against dudes. Seventh grade is when it kind of struck me to step out and get a little bit uncomfortable and see how good I really was. You know what I mean? So that was kind of a telling point in terms of how good I thought I was in comparison to how good I really was at the time. And then dealing with the confidence or your confidence being shook based off that. You know what I mean? So that was a pivotal time for me. You know what I mean? Like stepping out of my comfort zone and trying to figure out, am I as good as I am in this neighborhood? Or am I not that good when I get out here and play against the rest of these kids in the city? And, it was somewhere in between. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't, once I got out there and started playing the citywide and boys and girls and 12 and under, 13 and under against all these other dudes, I realized, all right, I'm a neighborhood hero, but I got a lot more to work on if I really want to be one of the dudes in the city. You know what I mean? So that was a telling point.
What schools, for those that don't know, you attended the famed and historical St. Raymond's High School. Yeah. What schools did you have in mind, and what made you choose St. Raymond's? Yeah.
Well, that's crazy too, man, because you think back on it, it's like, and I'm sure it still happens to a degree at this point, but like, a lot of us got recruited to go to high school, right? We was going on visits to high schools, going to high school games, and like really being courted, like high school coaches coming to our little games and whatever. So, coming up, I like Talent Time, right? Because I was around Talent Time. My brother went there. I saw the energy behind it. They had guys going D1 left and right. And I was up on that as a young kid. I wanted to be a D1 player and all that kind of stuff. So initially it was Talent Time. And then as I started getting a little bit older, getting close to high school, I started to feel like, I want to blaze my own. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to just do what my brother did and just be looked at as, it's his little brother. So I kind of backed up off of Talent Time. Think about All Hallows, think about Hayes, Manhattan Center. That was the one public school I was thinking about, Manhattan Center. And then it was a fluke in a way. We had practice at Riverside one night. We were in 8th grade. We were going to the game. Talent Time was actually playing St. Ray's at Mount St. Michael in an Archdiocese championship game. And that's when St. Ray's had like Dal Reed, Chuck Martin, Eddie Rivera, Mike Thompson. And obviously Talent Time had Malik, Red Autry, Brian Reese, that whole crew. So we go to the game. It's me, Book, a couple of other teammates. And, we knew of St. Ray's, but St. Ray's wasn't hitting like that at the time. It was okay. Program on the rise a little bit. So we sat there and watched them. They actually beat Talent Time that night. It was a good game. It was a great atmosphere. We 8th graders, so we caught up in all of it. And literally in the middle of that game, me and Book kind of turned to each other and said, yo, once them dudes get out of St. Ray's, that could be our spot. So, you know, that it was as simple as that. And that pretty much that night was like, yo, we going to St. Ray's. And just kind of happened like that. And then all the other pieces fell together later in time with Orlando coming and Dana Dingle coming.
Yes.
Then beyond that, Charlton Clark and Kareem Reed and Eric Harrison, all these other guys. So it was kind of like a fluke circumstance that got that thing rolling. But, you know, like they say, everything happened for a reason. And, you know, our gut was right on that one.
So now when you get to St. Ray's, what year did you start playing varsity?
I started playing as a 10th grader, sophomore.
Sophomore year.
You know, obviously, sophomore year played varsity. Obviously going in there with a little ego. You know, the whole goal was to get to varsity as early as you could back then. You know, you wanted to be like a prodigy. Oh, you're a freshman on varsity. Because in New York, it was rare. You know what I mean? To be a freshman playing varsity. So my ego was like, yo, Caesar, he recruited me. He loved me. I'm just as good as all these other dudes. This is me talking to me now. You know what I mean? I know better now. So I'm thinking I'm walking into a varsity spot. You know, I don't only care about playing or not. I just want to be on varsity as a freshman just because of the look of it. But that didn't happen. Gary DeCesar actually put us on the freshman team and put some other freshmen who wasn't even Riverside Gauchos dudes on the JV team.
Wow.
Like just knocking those egos down and trying to put us in our place. But it ended up being the best thing for us. We played all the minutes. You know, we got all the shots. We ended up going to the city championship. We lost to Malloy in that game. But, yeah, man, then the following year, 10th grade year, we had a whole starting five of 10th grade.